ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be? I'm ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be? But your man Lou. Yeah.
The LouieTeeNetwork is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads. Classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to Sunday Night Football overtime. Broncos, Commanders. That was a lot of fun. That's the way it's supposed to look. There are no moral victories for losing football games, but when you're in the midst of a 6-game losing streak, you've gotten your ass kicked on primetime television every single time you've shown up. And let's face it, you're playing a team on an 8-game win streak. This could have easily gotten ugly, but it didn't. And there were opportunities for this to go sideways, but it didn't. And this team overcame adversity every time they were faced with it in this game. They could have folded the tent when it was 20-14, and for the first time, this offense didn't respond, and the defense could have given up. Even a field goal would have probably gotten us beat, but they didn't. It was 3rd and 25 after we got hosed on 2 consecutive bad calls, and we didn't fold. We could have, but we didn't. We converted. Zach Ertz tried to sell us on multiple occasions. He also was fan-effing-tastic tonight. But he also tried to sell us twice. But he didn't. Mariota was spectacular. He tried to sell us once. But he didn't. Instead, he made winning plays practically all night, except for the jump passes where he tried to give the game away. Tonight was one of those nights. First of all, happy holidays to all of y'all, man. Let's pull up. We back in the game, man. Let's pull up a little something. Yeah. Tonight's a pull-up worthy type of performance. Proud of the fellas, man. Proud of the coaching staff. Because to me, you're at the point now where let's see what we got. Who's getting in the car? Who's getting in the whip for next year? Who's riding? Who we leaving at the bus stop? First things first, I couldn't be more proud of this offensive line. Look, I've been talking about a competition next year at left guard with Chris Paul and Brandon Coleman. And you know what? I don't really need a competition right now. As it stands, these 5 guys are blocking their asses off. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the best pass rush you're going to see in the NFL. They couldn't get a sniff tonight. Mariota was comfortable back there for the most part. This is what we've been reduced to. We're at the point of the season now where we're looking for positives. Things we can take into next season and say, this is what we do know. These are the definites. Nothing feels more absolute right now. Nothing feels more definitive than this offensive line. That is a great building block and a great place to start. If you're going to say, hey, I don't know about much, but I do know about this, it's the offensive line right now. Of course, Jaden Daniels is another guy that I feel good about, but there are questions about Jaden right now. There are a lot of people that have questions. They want answers, which is why people want to see him down the stretch of this season. Here's what you can't question: this offensive line's ability to pass block. You can question a lot of things on this team. You can't question this team's ability to pass block. And as they get more reps together, you'll see less defensive, offensive line breakdowns where someone's coming scot-free. Everyone knows their assignment. Everyone does their job. Mark, this is the Denver Broncos. They have 49 sacks coming into this game. They couldn't even get a sniff. And we start with Cliff Kingsbury. The approach to this game, the game plan, to attack quickly, get it out of his hands without giving them a chance, set the tone for later in the game where we had to have Marcus Mariota drop back and need time. We were in 3rd and 11, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 21, 3rd and 25, 4th and 6. Gotta have it situations. They couldn't get a sniff. Why? Because we set the tone with the quick game, with the run game. And this offensive line established themselves. Yep, Josh Connolly had the big holding penalty in overtime. Yep, that happened. That, of course, it was bound to happen where a mistake would be made. Laramie Tunsil had a false start. Yep, that happened. But you know what? This offensive line was spectacular against the best pass rush in football. Bravo. Bra-effing-O. For this damn offensive line. All of y'all get in the car. Y'all can ride. You know who else can get in the car and ride? Marcus mother effing Mariota. Salute to the Samoan, man. Or the Hawaiian. Marcus can get in the whip. As long as Cliff Kingsbury is here, so should Marcus Mariota. No one fits Cliff Kingsbury's offense as a backup quarterback in this league more so than Marcus Mariota. There's not a better Jaden Daniels backup quarterback that you can find in this league than Marcus Mariota. As far as I'm concerned, yep, Marcus is going to make one of those plays every game where you go, Marcus, what the, bro? Why? Every week, you got to know. He's turned it over in every single game he's played in this season except for one. That was the Detroit game. But you already know. It's coming at some point. So you brace yourself for it. You know that Marcus Mariota. Oh, no, Marcus. Why? You know that moment's coming. But he's going to make so many more plays to offset that one moment. It's all worth it. You just hope, like it did against the Dolphins in Madrid, it doesn't happen at the end of the game where there's no chance for him to overcome it. At least this one, he got it out of the way early so he can make all the other plays afterwards. Sucks that it has to happen, but he has to remind you of why he's a backup, right? You know, we don't want to fall into the trap of, hey, man, this Marcus Mariota, he is something. Why isn't he starting? He always has to remind you of why he's a backup quarterback. But boy, is he not a damn good one. The best, I believe, you can do behind Jaden Daniels. You can't find us a better guy to fit this offense. You don't have to change a damn thing. Hey, Marcus, get in the car, man. Get in the car, Marcus. I don't know what the number is next year. Figure it out. I need Marcus back. And let's stop playing around with these one-year shits. Let's get Marcus back on a 2-year deal, man. I don't want to have to do this shit again next year. Let's get Marcus on a 2-year deal back here in Washington. They're like, he ain't starting nowhere else. I think Marcus understands this is a great spot for him. I think he understands and appreciates what Washington has meant. Let's get this 2-year deal hammered out. Get in the car, Marcus. Matter of fact, get in the front. You know who else can get in the car? Because that's where we at now. We trying to figure out who's getting in the whip. Traylon Burks, get your day walking ass in the whip, man. Cups up for the catch, guys. Cups up and gals. Cups up for the catch. Cups up for the catch. That was one of the best catches you will see all season long. Shout out to Traylon Burks. I talked a lot of shit about this guy. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not backing down. I still have my issues with Traylon Burks. But when it's all said and done, I don't have a problem with them taking a flyer on a young player that has first-round pedigree. I just didn't think it was going to move the needle. It still really hasn't this season, but you see how it could moving forward into the future. I was impressed and intrigued after the Detroit game. And what did he do? He did the thing that I was afraid he would do. He got injured. But he said, hey, it's just a little temporary setback. It ain't nothing major. I'll be back before you even knew I was gone. Facts. I didn't think he was playing tonight. I saw 13. I was like, wait, ain't 13 Burks? Oh, shit. They didn't tell us it was quick. Back out on the field, man. That one-handed catch was a thing of beauty. And this is why you need guys with that kind of size in the red zone. We haven't had that here in forever. A guy you can just throw it up to. Look, that wasn't a perfect ball from Mariota, obviously. But when you're 6'2" and you can jump and you're athletically gifted, you have an advantage over the defender because more likely than not, that guy covering you isn't 6'2". And he probably doesn't know what a damn football is. So go get that bitch. And he did. There's something with this dude. I don't know if he's going to make enough plays, but he is definitely a Noah Brown replacement next year moving forward. And again, another guy that you got to bring back. Get in the car, Treylon Burks. Get in. I want to see more. Get in. I thought Jordan McGee played well tonight, but he was already in the whip. Eddie Goldman, get your big ass in the whip, man. Love me some Eddie Goldman, man. I told y'all this already. Eddie does his job. Eddie does his job. We got to bring Eddie back. We got to bring Eddie back. There's certain guys that you just say, hey, he understands his role and he plays it well. Eddie's one of those dudes. Eddie got to get in the whip. Can you look me in my eyes with a straight face and tell me that Terry McLaurin's presence doesn't make a difference? Can you really sit here and definitively say that, nope, Terry McLaurin being on the field doesn't change this offense drastically? Because if you can, with a straight face, you, my friends, are a dangerous liar. Someone I don't need to be near because you're dangerous. Because if you could look me in my eyes and tell me that Terry McLaurin doesn't make a difference with this offense, how you have to play us, how you have to defend the Commanders, how you can go to this guy in a critical situation, how that doesn't open it up for Zach Ertz and Deebo Samuel and other guys. If you can look me in my eyes definitively and tell me that 17 doesn't make a difference, then we ain't watching the same game. And you, my friend, are a dangerous individual because you are a compulsive liar. Terry makes a difference. You know what else we saw tonight? Boy, we could use some speed on the other side of Terry, but we already knew that. We already knew that. But it's abundantly clear. I like the fact it's not a coincidence either that we decided to take shots tonight, the first game that Terry McLaurin is back in the lineup. I don't think that's a coincidence. Do you? Because I don't think it's a coincidence that the first game back with Terry in the lineup, we take deep shots and a plethora of them. Back up. Back up. Think you're going to just pack this shit in? You think you're just going to come up here and be aggressive, trying to stop the run and sit on these and squat on these routes underneath? Back up. And there was some shots, boy. If we had some speed on the other side, if we wasn't throwing a Treylon Burks on the other side, there was some opportunities. Tell you what, man. We're a few pieces away from being a high-functioning offense. Again, health is the biggest thing. Well, you a few pieces here and there from a high-functioning offense. One more guy on the opposite side. We don't even need that guy to be dynamic. Just a De'Ami Brown type on the other side would do wonders for this offense. Not even a guy that has to start. Just a guy that can come in like. This is why Jalen Lane was supposed to be like this dynamic guy that could stretch. But I didn't see that on tape. And we haven't seen that from him. He's not getting on top of anybody right now. Pause. At the end of the day, Terry McLaurin came in, stretched the field, made tough catches over the middle of the football field. And when's the last time Zach Ertz had 10 catches in a game? Here. When's the last time Zach Ertz was even open to make 10 catches? Last year. It never at any point this year was Zach Ertz this involved in a game plan. Why? Because teams could key in on old 86. Who else was going to hurt him? 17's out there. Now you got a different set of problems on your hands. It's a different set of problems. 17 makes a difference. I'll ride for my guy 7 days a week, twice on Sundays, Thursdays, some Saturdays, and every Monday that you can conjure up. Because Terry makes a damn difference. And you saw it again tonight. And the goal was to get out of this game unscathed. Debo had a nasty, funky catch and tackle at the end of regulation where he started grimacing. He's had back problems throughout the season. That didn't make me feel warm and fuzzy because I'm just trying to get everybody healthy for when 5 comes back. I just need to see it. Ultimately, Terry's presence changes everything. You saw it again tonight. You saw it against Kansas City when they couldn't stop us for basically 3/4 of that football game until Terry got hurt again, and then the offense pretty much went back into the tank. It's not a coincidence that he comes back and Denver just struggles with this offense. Ertz goes crazy. I'm not surprised. Neither should you. Defensively, oh, we got to talk about the defense. And you know what? Look, I know there were 2 chippies, but can we just give a quick cheers to Jake Moody? They were easy kicks. Matt Gay probably. I watched Matt Gay today bang a 23-yard field goal off the upright. It went in. I wanted it to miss so bad. He stinks. Matt Gay is ass. Cheeks, balls, everything, all of it. He's Matt Gay. Jake Moody. He may be moody, but he can be on his best behavior when he wants to. Tonight he was on his best behavior. We still haven't seen Jake Moody from 54. We still haven't seen Jake Moody from 49. So you can't get too excited about Jake Moody. He did what he was supposed to do, but that was a pressure kick, and he made it. He made it. We'll see what it looks like next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. Let's talk about the defense. We can't get to the quarterback to save our life. So if nothing else, when you start to assess your needs for next season, defensively, there were a few things that stuck out to me like a sore thumb. The first is the pass rush, of course. We can't rush 4 and get to the quarterback. And I get it. Again, you got both Preston Smith and Von Miller leaving the old folks' home every Sunday to come play a football game for us, and then returning to the old folks' home for the rest of the week. So, again, don't look for those guys to have any, impact on the game. You got Jacob Martin doing his best out there. There's only so much that you can ask Jacob Martin to do. This is a guy that before this season had never had more than 4.5 sacks in any given season in his NFL career. So you can't ask Jacob Martin to go take over a game. That's not what Jacob Martin is supposed to be asked to do. Frankie Louvu had a sack tonight. Hey, how about that? But we know Frankie, he ain't getting it done this year like that. Not off the edge. None of our defensive tackles win immediately and get to the quarterback. Hey, where's Johnny Newton at? Nah, don't ask Johnny to do that either. Here's what we can do, though. We can stop the run. Now, we gave up some stuff on the ground here and there, but by and large, we were really good against the run tonight. Deron Payne had a really good game. I thought Eddie Goldman played really well on the inside. I thought Jordan McGee played really well down around the line of scrimmage. I like the fact that they blitzed him tonight, even though he didn't get there. The more that he blitzes, the more comfortable he'll like. He got cut. How about you jump over that guy? Or how about you dive at the quarterback? There's things he can do. He can get better at it. But I like the fact that they utilized him in a different, way tonight. So that was fun to see. We created a turnover defensively. Hey, cheers to, hey, ball is life. We ain't dead. Hey, we living. Look at us above the ground. Ball is life. I'll drink to that. Look, he threw it right to Bobby. We ain't turning down. In this gift of giving season, right? We are not turning down any gifts. No freebies. This is the season of giving, and Bo Nix decided he was going to donate. You got no issues from me. So, hey, defense is slow. You know the play that really illustrated how slow this defense really is? I was so embarrassed. I was mortified. First of all, Bobby's got to stop falling for the shake route. How many times is he going to let Evan Ingram, I'm going outside. You better get me. And then he breaks it back inside. It's the same shake route that Zach Ertz gets every damn defensive back with down in the red zone. Oh, I'm going outside. I'm going to the flats. No, I'm not. Ooh, I got him. Shake route. And he shook him down every time. He frisked Bobby Wagner every time on the shake route. But the one in overtime was very disgusting. Because what it did was it illustrated just how slow we are at both the second and third level. This man catches what amounts to a shallow cross. It was a shake route, but he gets inside of Bobby Wagner. He not only runs past Bobby Wagner, he ran past the safety. He also ran past Mikey Sainristil. None of them could catch this man. Keep in mind, that's what 4.4 speed looks like. Okay. Evan Ingram, if you forgot, y'all must have forgot. In case you forgot, Evan Ingram is a 4.4 tight end. Who in our secondary runs a 4.4 right now? Maybe Jonathan Jones at his ripe old age. Maybe Will Harris, fresh off of his broken ankle. Maybe these guys still run 4.4s. But we're slow on defense. And that play illustrated that. He ran right by everybody. It looked like we were stuck in mud. Y'all got a problem. Your name is the defense. No speed on. 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 Defense. Okay. No speed on defense. Ran right past us. Shit was ridiculous. That was like a 40-something yard gain in overtime on a simple 5-yard pass. No speed. So no pass rush and no speed, no foot speed. But we knew this already. We knew this already coming in. It's crazy to see the shit play itself out on the field in that capacity. Another thing that was, hey, how about Mikey lighting a dude up in the flats? That was nice. Shout out to Mikey for that. I got to give the defense credit, though. I'm not going to just shit on the defense all night. For the lack of pass rush, for all of the lack of pass rush, for the lack of foot speed, for some inexplicable reason, Dan Quinn decided on 3rd and like 21 to rush 3 and give up and drop 8 and then give up a deep shot down the left sideline to a wide-ass open Cortland Sutton. Yeah. How about, let's not do that again, right? Prevent defense prevents you from winning. Let's not do that again. For all of that, this defense got stops. Keep in mind, this game could have got out of hand early. They give up a touchdown on the first possession. It's 7-0. Defense could have got out of hand. They gave up a field goal. The Broncos got down there again. They could have gave up a touchdown. It could have been 10-0. It could have been 14-0. They settled for another field goal. It was 6-0. This defense kept us in the game when the offense, who was moving the ball early but couldn't finish off drives. We've seen this movie before because it's been playing all season long. Put us in a hole. The defense said, we're not going to let this game get out of control. The offense scored, got it to 7-6. The defense gave up a touchdown. It was third. I love the response of this team. They gave up the touchdown before the half. It's 13-6. You're losing at halftime, or 13-7, excuse me. You're losing at halftime, but you get the ball to start second half, which is why I told you it's important to get the ball after half. All that bullshit y'all talk about starting fast and winning the toss and taking the ball. Doohickey. You win the toss, you defer. This is why. You're down 13-7. You get the ball to start the second half, and what do? March that bitch down the field, and we scored a touchdown, take the lead 14-13. What did the defense do? Give up a touchdown. They actually got to stop and gave the ball back to the offense, and we didn't do shit with it. Then we gave up the touchdown to make it 20-14. And then what ensued after that was me seeing this defense stand tall and give this team a fighting shot in a game that they easily could have said, hey, this is where the ride ends. This has been fun. We've been competitive, but this is where this one gets away from us. I was actually expecting that. We didn't respond for the first time all night long. We didn't respond. When it was 6-0, we responded with a touchdown, made it 7-6. When we were down 13-7, we responded with a touchdown and made it 14-13. When we were down 20-14, we did not respond. We got stopped. We had to punt. And it was at that point where I said, this might be it. This is where this one starts to get away from us. We got to stop. Then the offense got a field goal. I think either we got the stop or the offense, we didn't score on that possession. Then we got the interception. Then we got the field goal. And then it was 20-17. But all it would have taken was a Denver Broncos field goal, and we would have been in another precarious situation. They score a touchdown, the game's over. They score a field goal, now you need a touchdown. Field goal won't do. And what the defense do? They kept forcing punts. They kept getting off the field. And then in the most critical situation, guess who I saw on the field? You will never guess. You will never guess who I saw on the field. On the most critical set of downs, the most critical possession defensively in the game. We're down 20-17. We're starting to use our timeouts. Guess who I see on the field? And when I saw him active, I said, oh, it must be for special teams purposes. He ain't going to see the field defensively. Guess who I saw on the field? 59. I'm testing your Commanders fandom right now. Who the hell wears 59, guys? Can you tell me? Who wears 59? That's a trick question. That's a trick question. TJ Mag wears 59, guys. TJ Mag. TJ Mag wears 59. He was in the game in the fourth quarter with less than 4 minutes to go. TJ Mag is rushing off the edge. Hey, Dan Quinn. Yeah, I got to give it up. You said you were going to give some of the young guys some opportunities. You didn't know how many opportunities they were going to get, but they were going to get some opportunities. You can't have a bigger opportunity in the game than TJ Mag with the game on the line is rushing after Bo Nix. He ain't do shit, but the fact that you even had the balls to put him out there says that you're at least willing to give some of these young guys a chance. How about Colson Yankoff with a catch tonight? God damn it. Hell yes. Now, while I'm out here giving out congratulations and superlatives, I must say, we've been begging for the tight end screen, have we not? I have been, but not to Zachary Ertz. What are you doing? You can't throw that tight end screen to Ben Sinnott, who missed the block on a wide receiver screen. God damn it, Ben. You can't throw that tight end screen to Ben Sinnott, man. Shit, you can't throw it to at least Ben Sinnott. But if you ain't gonna throw it to Ben Sinnott, then throw it to Colson Yankoff. You throwing a tight end screen to Zach Ertz? Really? What are we looking to accomplish here? I need answers. Talk to me. Come and talk to me. I really need to know what you're trying to do. Come and talk to me. I really want to know what you're trying to accomplish on a Zach Ertz tight end screen. I want to know. Can you tell me your reasoning? I need to know. What we trying to accomplish on the Zach Ertz tight end screen, man? What you want, a yard or two? Maybe two? Max? What we doing on a Zach Ertz tight end screen, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, I digress. TJ Mag was on the field. You gave opportunities to some young guys tonight. I like that they're mixing some things up. Defensively, you got critical stops. The stop on the final possession defensively of regulation where you drop out. I thought it was a great play, first and foremost, by Jacob Martin. Because not only did he drop into that hook zone, he got a piece of Cortland Sutton. And Sutton was bitching, but he was within 5 yards. And he chucked the shit out of him. That's what you do. Reach out and touch somebody, man. Touch him. Put your hands on him. Don't let him get into his route. Clean. Put your hands on that man. He touched him, and then he dove up, and it made it a tough throw for Bo Nix. Incomplete. We got off the field. I was really pleased with what I saw from this defense. I was really pleased with how they were able to respond to some adverse situations late in the game. I hated the overtime drive. It was like they ran out of gas, and it was like, bro, I ain't got nothing for you. Like, I did everything I could do to get you here. Like, but at the end of the day, I told you Denver's offense wasn't going to, it doesn't definitively say we're better defensively. But what it does say is Dan Quinn should have pulled the plug on Joe Witt Jr. a lot sooner. Who knows what this season would have been. Because clearly the defensive play calling is better. There were some moments where I said, Dan, what are you doing, bro? Like, I already illustrated the 3rd and like 21 that you give up when you rush 3, drop 8, and you give up the open play to Cortland Sutton up. They're like, what are you doing, bro? You got too cute here. What are you doing, guy? Seriously, what are we doing right now? But ultimately, there were some games earlier this season that we might have been able to win or be a lot more competitive in had DQ been calling the defensive plays. I do believe that. But ultimately, we got a lot of work to do on that side of football. Got a lot of injuries, but those injuries, all they did was mask some of the deficiencies that we have. And those are highlighted now that those guys are not available for us. So all in all, we did what we were supposed to do against the Denver Broncos offense that I didn't think should scare you. It's not a dynamic Broncos offense. So kudos to them for doing what they were supposed to do. I expect them to play well again next week. Did you see Max Brosmer? You choosing from the lesser of two evils. You either J.J. McCarthy and his funky ass next week, or God forbid they got to put Max Brosmer back out there. He threw 4 picks today or yesterday. He stinks. Stinks. Their head coach right now is scratching his head and saying, man, what in the F do I do? Because right now, Kevin O'Connell is choosing between a rock and a hard place. So we better go out and play well again defensively next week. Will Jaden Daniels be in the lineup against that really, solid Vikings defense? Remains to be seen. I'll take my chances with this offensive line, though. But we'll see. I'm encouraged. All in all, this team fought. Mariota, that play on that 4th down. First of all, Mariota made a ton of throws tonight. Like, he missed some throws and he didn't give guys opportunities. There were times where you're like, come on, give him a chance, Marcus. But he also made some plays where you go, shit. That's what's up, Marcus. The 4th down play was his best play of the night. The one in overtime where he escaped the 2 sacks, somehow got the ball to the laces and threw it to Jeremy McNichols, who was interfered with by Talanoa Hufanga. He should have been sacked 15 times on that play. There's no way he should have gotten that football off. So proud of the way he battled tonight. Mariota was everything. So I can't stress enough that he's a guy that I definitely want to see back here. But it was the right call to go for 2. They had the great play call. It was open. And you just got to tip your cap to Nick Bonito for making a play. Got to tip your cap to Nick Bonito for making a play. Because I'm somewhat relieved that we didn't win for this reason. Because if we would have won tonight, you know what I would have been thinking. My mind would have directly went to the loss against Miami and the missed opportunity. Even though you really don't have a chance to do shit, even if had you won that game and this one, and instead of being 3-9, you were 5-7. You still ain't got a chance to do shit. But I'm thinking you can beat Minnesota next week. You can beat, the Giants the week after that, and you at 7-7. Like I don't need to go down that road. I'm glad we're not going down that road. But that's where I would have been had we won tonight. I would have started going down that road, and we don't need to go down that road. So there is a little part of me that's like, man, losing this game was for the best. But boy, to go in and compete the way that we did tonight, I must say, no moral victories, but I am proud of the way that the team responded tonight. Overcame a lot of adversity. I expected them to compete at a high level tonight. I didn't expect them to get blown out. I did not expect the game to be this close at the end, though. I thought we would fight for 3.5 quarters and let go of the rope in the 4th quarter at some point. And there were ample opportunities for that to happen, and it never did. And that just shows you the fight. And again, I know DQ isn't going to be happy with the loss, and he's going to be pissed off. There was an opportunity to win. They didn't get it. He's going to be disappointed, and he should be. But it also speaks to the brotherhood and the environment and the culture that they've built. This team hasn't quit. They're not giving up. They're fighting. They're playing. There's a standard that they're setting right now. And it bodes well for this team really, having that foundation being set. So we can't take any steps backwards the rest of the season, though. We can't, Dallas is the one game left on the schedule that I look at and say, you can't get embarrassed on Christmas Day. That their offense is capable of doing the things that Miami and Denver's offenses weren't capable of doing. That's the one. I'm not afraid of Philadelphia's offense right now with the way they look. Not afraid of Minnesota's offense. I'm not afraid of the Giants' offense. I am afraid of Dallas's offense. And if we can slow them down and make that game competitive, that's the one that signals to me that for all of the deficiencies, for all the things that we don't have, the play calling makes up for a lot of it, and it keeps us competitive. And Dan Quinn should have done this a long time ago. Maybe this season would have gone a little bit differently, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get a word from our sponsor, Sleeper. Come back on the other side, and we'll get to the comment section. Sleeper. Sleeper is the best way to experience and connect over sports together. It's a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on games in real time with other users, get the fastest scores, blazing fast news and alerts right at your fingertips, play in fantasy leagues, and win real money on pick contests. So enjoy sports the way they were meant to, together. Download the #1 sports app today. Predict the hottest football stats like passing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and much more to cash in on your daily fantasy football skills. Use promo code LTN and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Sleeper. All right. So shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the stream. Let's get to the comment section and see what you guys have to say. Commander Cole, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Commander Cole writes, "What's up, Lou?" What's up, Commander Cole? He writes a couple of things. Talk to me. One, Terry's still a dog. Look, man, that never changed for me, bro. I told y'all the Chiefs game was just a brief reminder for anybody that must have forgot. And it's so much Terry slander that went on this year. Some of y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. And if I had a chance, if I had a belt, I would take my belt out and beat some of y'all because y'all was out of pocket. Y'all needed an ass whooping. But I digress. Terry came back in the Chiefs game and peeked his head out for a second and said, "Hey, just in case y'all forgot what I mean to this team and what I am capable of, let me just give you a brief glimpse." And then he went away again. And tonight, he did it again. He did it again. Like, Terry makes a difference, bro. Absolutely. He's definitely a dog. Straight up. It's why I was caping for him this entire offseason when he was trying to get his money. Because this is what he does. 2, proud of the O-line. The O-line, to me, is the linchpin of all of this shit. You know? Like, we talked about Jaden Daniels and him being the biggest commodity that we've ever had in this franchise's history, potentially. Well, you need to protect that commodity, and this offensive line looks like they're built to be able to do that for the foreseeable future. 3, this staff must have something against Senate. I look, man. They have to. I don't know. I don't know what else we got to do to get this man. They threw the ball to Colson Yankoff tonight before they threw it to Ben Sinnott. And again, they may have Ben Sinnott running out on routes and they're just not looking for him. They're not like, but again, if they really wanted him to touch the ball, they could call a play for Ben Sinnott to get the football. So that's not an excuse. And lastly, he says, Marcus's price tag went up significantly. I don't know if it went up significantly. I think there's a mutual interest between the two. Which won't drive the price up. But when you play the way Marcus did on this stage, like he did tonight, people know who he is around the league. So it's not like their teams didn't know what Marcus could do, and all of a sudden this is an eye-opening experience for them. But there is value in being a competent NFL backup quarterback. And Marcus continues to show that. He continues to show that. And so I don't know if I agree with the price went up significantly, but I do believe the urgency in which you need to move to get him back this offseason continues to heighten with every time he plays like this. And he's played like this multiple times this season, where I've left the game and said, well, we didn't lose this game because of Marcus Mariota. Maybe we win this if Jaden Daniels plays, but I can't say definitively that if Jaden Daniels plays, we win the game, because Marcus played well enough for us to win. Marcus played well enough for us to win tonight. Marcus played well enough for us to beat Detroit. Marcus played well enough for us to beat Atlanta. He left some meat on the bone against Atlanta, but he played well enough for us to win that game. You could even argue Marcus played well enough for us to beat Kansas City. You could even make that argument. I don't know. Maybe they do have something against Ben Sinnott. I don't know. If it's starting to feel like, okay, now y'all playing in our face. You gonna throw a tight end screen to Zach Ertz? Really? You playing in our face now? now it's turning into a joke. Now y'all playing. Jacob Cortez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Quan Martin pissed me the F off today. Quan Martin is basic. Like, he don't even piss me off no more. It's Quan Martin, bro. Like, what do you want from him? You want him to be something he's not? He can only be Quan Martin. That's all he can do. B-Rad, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. B-Rad writes, they played hard and lost. It's a win-win. For those of you who want to lose out, this is the perfect scenario. This is the blueprint right here. Play hard as shit, hyper competitive, but just fall short. This is exactly how you want it to go. This is the template. We said they stole from the Giants playbook. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Now, myself, I actually want to win. So, if you're going to lose, you can lose to the Denvers of the world. And hell, even next week to Minnesota, that would suck, because Minnesota's playing really bad football right now. They got shut out today. But I really want to beat the division teams. So if you tell me don't waste your wins on these teams, okay, cool. I get it. Save them for Dallas and Philadelphia and the Giants. Okay, cool. I get that. AJ Meehan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, think I speak for everyone in the chat tonight. Go to bed, Commandalorian. He might have been tripping in the comment section. I don't know, but if you speaking for everybody in the chat, then I guess I have no choice but to believe that Commandalorian was tripping. It's after 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. on the East Coast, and if Commandalorian is on the East Coast, he might be tripping. Not out of the realm of possibility. Antisocial Sully, been a member for 25 months. Actually, who writes, the switch to DQ has been night and day. Defensively, yes, it has. It feels, and again, the two offenses, if we put it in perspective, the two offenses that we've gone against since the switch haven't been world beaters. But it didn't matter who the offenses were before the switch, they were getting active on us. So again, as much as I want to say, well, it was Miami and it was Denver, Miami and Denver would have gotten active against Joe Witt Jr. It just would have. So no, the switch has definitely been night and day for sure. HP Living, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Lou giving props to a QB who blew the game. You really feel like Marcus Mariota blew the game? We wouldn't even been in the game without Marcus Mariota. Give me the reason why he blew the game. My ears are open. Talk to me. How did he blow the game? Because without Marcus, we're not even in the game. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Cheers to my guy, Swaggy P, who writes, it's a loss, but feels like a win for me. Do tell. We win if JD5 playing. I felt that way, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, Marcus played really well, bro. Like, Marcus played really well. D is still questionable, but playing better under DQ calling plays. I agree with that. Terry reminding people why he's that guy. I agree with that wholeheartedly. On the mini, hashtag raise hell. My guy Swaggy P for always keeping the positives, spin on, putting a positive spin on everything. I love it. We are very like-minded in the sense that we are optimists, and you look for the positives, and those were some positives. Like I think this is another game that you can say, like, if you want to tell yourself this, you're free to tell yourself that if Jaden Daniels plays, you win the game. This is another one of those games you're allowed to do that. I don't know if that's true. Now, let me say that. I don't know if that's true or not, but you're allowed to tell yourself that. You could tell yourself that in the Atlanta game. You could tell yourself that in the Chiefs game. You could tell yourself that in this game. You're allowed to tell yourself that. Marcus Mariota this year as a starter, 1-6. Or 1-5, excuse me. He's 1-5. And in 3 of those losses, you're allowed to tell yourself that if Jaden Daniels plays, we might win the game. This is one of those games. I don't necessarily know if that's true, but you can tell yourself that. And it's a valid argument to be made. 2 Proficient TV. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, that Traylon Burke catch made me say in my best possible African voice, oh my God. That was not an African voice, by the way. Man, I was tweaking. Yo, I told my wife, so we were driving back up from my parents' house, which is where we spent the Thanksgiving weekend. And the play happened, and I'm like kind of like in disbelief at what I had just seen. I'm watching this on my phone, so like I couldn't tell he caught it initially because it was, screen so small. But I don't see the ball like flying away or anything like that. And then I just hear Mike Tirico go nuts and Chris Collinsworth start laughing. And I'm like, what, did he catch it or something? And I see him come down with the, ball. And I'm like, oh my God, he caught that. Like, I need to see the replay because I couldn't really see it definitively. And when you see the replay, it doesn't even do it justice. Just how good of a catch it is till they really play it in like super slow-mo. And you see that this is a legit one hand. He gripped the football. He's probably got like extra large gloves, which Odell Beckham Jr. is another guy with those ridiculously, like DeAndre Hopkins makes those catches because they got these huge hands. And I'm in awe because a lot of times with Wayne, like, I don't know if you guys watched football today, like different games, but Brock Bowers had a sick one-hand catch too today. But a lot of times when guys make those one-hand catches, they like cradle the ball. Like they deaden the impact and then they cradle it. This was a legitimate, I'm just gripping the bitch out in midair, foul, vice grip, and I'm just coming down with it. Like, he didn't bring it to his body, right? He gripped the hoe and then just cuffed it, basically, which is insane. It's like, again, like the Odell Beckham joint. It was ridiculous. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. It is you. Yeah, that shit was crazy, bro. Swaggy P, been a member for 37 months. Salute. Who writes, Benito vertical 2 inches shorter, we win this. He just timed it up perfectly. I felt like Marcus, you saw him jumping, you couldn't get it over him, but Benito just timed it up perfectly, man. You just gotta give credit where credit is due, man. Sometimes when it's your year, like we were making these plays last year. We were getting those breaks last year. It ain't our year. It ain't our year, and it's okay. We'll be back next year. But when it ain't your year, you don't get those breaks. JP, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, John Perez, thank you for being a member of the MOBB writes. Don't want to hear about moral victories. A loss is still a loss, and I'm looking forward to this offseason. Another year of no playoffs, shaking my head. That's fine. I mean, again, I don't know what you're looking for, JP. Did you think we're going to run the table and make the playoffs or something? Like, we lost this game. There are positives to take away from this. There are still negatives that go along with the positives of this game, which is going to be the case for the remainder of the season. The season was over prior to the bye. Right? The season was over before the Miami game. So now you're at the stage where, no, you're not looking for moral victories, but you are looking for positives. And there were some positives to take from tonight's game. So I get it that you don't want moral victories. None of us are looking for moral victories, but there are positives from this game. I wanted to win. I'm not gonna hold you. I wanted to win the game. I enjoyed this game though. Like when you're 3-8, the pressure of winning isn't the same. Like it don't hit the same. If we were 7-4 tonight playing this game, my heart would have been beating out of my chest. I'd have been living and dying with every play. That ain't where I'm at right now. Emotionally, I'm not invested the way that I would have been had this team been in a position to make the playoffs. We're 3-8, bro. So I'm just enjoying the game like a fan at this point. Like, oh man, we almost got them. Dang, that's crazy. That's the type of time I'm on. It's almost no different than me watching the Texans play the Colts. Like, oh man, that's a hell of a catch in the corner by Alec Pierce. That's a hell of a catch. Oh man, damn, he should have had him on that one, yo. I'm telling you, man, CJ Stroud be tripping. I'm watching our game like that now. I'm not over here like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. Oh my God. That's what I would have been doing. Like the Falcons game last year on Sunday Night Football that went to overtime. Yo, I was sitting there with my son watching that game on that couch, living and dying with every snap, bro. That's not what I was on tonight. I was standing up in front of my TV, watching the game, enjoying the shit. When I thought the game was over originally on that 4th down, when I didn't realize there was a flag yet, I was like, oh man, they lost. All right. And I was ready to turn the TV off. Like I wasn't tripping, I wasn't mad, none of that shit. They gave it a valiant effort and I was ready to walk away. Then he was like, hold on, there's a flag. I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. Wait a second. You say what? Flag? You say? Like, JP, you got to understand where we at, bro. It ain't about moral victories. It's about what can we take from these games that's positive moving forward. That's what it's about. Carbon Sim, thank you for being a member for 19 months. Right. What up, Lou? What's up, Carbon? Terry Debo Burks next year or Terry draft pick Burks next year. Yep. With hold on. One of them 49ers dudes might be here. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. We'll see. Don't rule it out. With Lane Luke getting spot reps. I think of those two groupings that you put together, most fans would prefer the Terry draft pick Burks than the Terry Debo Burks. Either way, a healthy Terry sets it off. If Burks can stay healthy, he adds something to this offense, clearly. We need another vertical threat, though. That is apparent. Right now. We need another vertical threat. Proficient to TV. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? I'm about to start my 1466 piece Ford GT Lego set. And you should be finished with that by the time the season is over with. Good luck with that. You're going to need it. That's a lot of pieces. to that Lego set. Uncle Jay, thank you for being a member for 42 months. Salute to my guy, Uncle Jay, who writes, you never know how much you miss something till it's gone. Terry showed out. Perfect way to sum it up. I've been talking about Terry all year long and how much this offense desperately missed him. Tonight was a night that just kind of solidified that. Jaden has missed him dearly this season. And you see why. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. GT7 writes, first time we saw a competitive team from last year. DQ better not relinquish DC duties. He won't this year, but next year there's a real conversation whether I've said this. I think he likes calling the plays. I'm not sure that he's going to hire someone outside to take over next year. He may just decide to continue to call the plays defensively. But we also know, John Common said this, that he doesn't want to have to do this. But wanting to do it, needing to do it, it's two different things. Right now, he needs to do it. He may not want to do it because he wants to have the overall, responsibility of overseeing the entire operation and not being burdened and bogged down with having to call plays and put together a defensive game plan on a weekly basis. But we may need him to do this. Maybe he might get back to the point where he's like, yo, I want to do this as a head coach. We'll see. He's not going to relinquish defensive coordinator duties this year, obviously. But I think his goal is to hire somebody to do it in the offseason. Crazy how 17 changes the entire team. I kid. Stop questioning 17. I wish people would stop doing it. Tonight goes a long way in helping do that. I think people realize, like, shit, 17 is like that. Like, I don't know how you didn't, like, tonight didn't need to reinforce that. What it should have done for you is reinforce the importance of having a guy in the lineup. A true number one receiver in the lineup changes things dramatically. Because really, until overtime in the late stages of the fourth quarter, that final drive, Debo was a non-factor in this game. It was really Terry and Ertz. Debo didn't come alive until the final drive and then in overtime. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, there's a lot of things we need this offseason, like tight end, wide receiver, D end, cornerback, and safety, and a new DC. There's a ton of things we need. This game didn't change any of that. All you're looking for down the stretch, these final 5 games, you could count this game, final 6 games, all you were looking for are things that you can take with you into next year. We saw some of those things tonight. So, doesn't change the fact that we need all those positions that you just mentioned. And there's others. Safety. We can use safety. We can use every single position on the football field. Really. There's not anything that we can't use other than maybe quarterback. As long as you bring back Marcus Mariota and you got Jaden Daniels, you don't need quarterback. But if you wanted a young developmental quarterback on the roster, because eventually Marcus Mariota not going to be here, I'm all for that. I'm an advocate of them doing that. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, right? Damn, that was fun. Wasn't it, though? Wasn't it, though? I had fun. Imagine that. Now, losing isn't fun. So let me stress this. Losing isn't fun. But also, I told you, I'm watching the game as a fan. Like, I'm watching it like I'm not a fan of the team, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it's a bad thing in the sense that we don't have anything on the line. If we had something on the line, I wouldn't be watching it in that capacity. I would be living and dying with every play. There's been years where we've been really good. We lose a game, and I'm like, yo, shit, that was fun, right? It hasn't been fun watching this team play football this year, though. So from that perspective, I get what you're saying, just off the strength of we've watched a lot of Commanders games this season. Now at 3-9, 12 to be exact. And there may have been a handful of them that were fun to watch. Like the week 1 game against the Giants wasn't fun to watch. We won, but it wasn't fun. The week 2 game against the Packers was not fun to watch. The week 3 game against the Raiders was fun. The week 4 game against the Falcons was fun. The week 5 game against the Chargers was fun. The week 6 game against the Bears, even though we lost and the way we lost was just soul crushing, that still was a fun game. We did some really good things in that game. But then nothing was fun after that. Week 7, week 6 against the or week 7 against Dallas wasn't fun. Week 8 against the Chiefs wasn't fun. Week 9 against Detroit wasn't fun. Week 10 against Miami wasn't fun. Week 11, or excuse me, I missed a game. Week 7 against Dallas wasn't fun. Week 8 against Kansas City wasn't fun. Week 9 against Seattle definitely wasn't. That's the one I was missing. Definitely wasn't fun. Week 10 against Detroit wasn't fun. Week 11 versus Miami wasn't fun. And then week 13 was fun again. So we hadn't had fun. Me personally, I can't speak for anybody out there. Me personally, I hadn't had fun watching the Commanders game since week 6 against the Bears. We're in week 13 now. That's 7 whole weeks. So, yeah, that was fun. Losing sucks, but that was a fun game. That was a fun game. Wish we would have won, but, you know, hey, what can you do? Antisocial Sully, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of MOBB once again, who writes, we need edge help bad. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I think that's at the top of the list. Top of the pile. I don't even know how Louie got that one sack. It actually was a really good play, right? So the entire night, I thought our rush lane integrity was trash because we allowed Bo Nix to escape up the A-gap, escape outside the pocket. We didn't do a good job of containing him at all in this game. So I love the fact that Louie looped around. So they ran a little game inside. Louie wrapped around, and as Bo Nix thought he could escape to the outside, here comes Louie. So he tries to retreat to the middle. There's nowhere to go. He tries to come back out, and Louie comes around for the sack. That was really well done by the front four. But to your point, we really don't have any pass rush. That was abundantly clear tonight. Abundantly clear tonight. MVP Jaden, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, almost forgot how good Terry is. You're not alone. There are a lot of people out there that needed a reminder. I didn't need a reminder. I know how good 17 is. Some people needed to be reminded, though, because a lot of y'all take for granted Terry McLaurin. I think that I really feel that way. Y'all take him for granted because, you know, Rio always jokes he ain't never had a game over 100 and, 50 yards receiving, and this. It's a lot of jokes out there. Ha ha, really funny. But when it's all said and done, Terry McLaurin is respected and revered as one of the best receivers in football. And tonight was one of, again, he'll never be the fastest. He'll never be the most dynamic. He'll never be the guy that gets 15 targets. So he'll never be the guy that kills you with volume. I was just happy that he got 13 targets tonight, 14 targets tonight, whatever the number was. I know at one point it was 13 and he had 6 catches. I think he ended up with 14 targets, 7 catches, and the touchdown. I'm just happy that he got that many targets tonight. I wish Jaden would learn from Marcus, because Marcus was throwing that bitch to him. Some of them, they count the targets to him. Those balls weren't even close, right? It's Marcus throwing the ball away. He was the nearest receiver. It counts as a target. But he threw the ball to Terry a bunch tonight. A bunch. And Jaden be on that spreading the ball around bullshit. Nah, no, feed Terry. Feed him. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes? Few more things. Those refs suck. Look, refs are imperfect. They make mistakes. It sucks that those calls almost hurt us in this game. They didn't ultimately hurt us. We overcame them. But yeah, they sucked. Those calls suck. I wouldn't say those refs suck. Those calls sucked. But they made up for it. The pass interference, they didn't have to throw the flag there on that play. They could have just let the game be over. But they threw the flag. They did the right thing, like Spike Lee. So they also gave us like a bogus penalty down inside the red zone when the guy tried to unpile Tyler Biadasz off of Zach Allen, and they called it on Nick Benito when Laramie Tunsil pushed the shit out of him after he, tried to unpile him. And so, like, I thought that was a bogus call. Remember, we were backed up. It was like 2nd and 21 or some shit. And that gave us a personal foul, first down, and then Chris Rodriguez ran it in the end zone. So the shit always evens out. I always tell y'all that. Like, for the most part, shit usually evens itself out. Those were some egregious calls, but we also benefited from some of them. So missing calls and cramping mid-game. Hey, chill out, man. Leave the referees alone, man. He came back. He was a soldier. True no-limit soldier. I thought I told you. He came back in the game. Get in shape, refs. I always laugh at the fact that NFL refs are some of the oldest refs in the game. I mean, generally speaking, across the board, Major League Baseball, NBA, and NFL, they all have older officials because you have to work your way up through the ranks, high school, college, and you become an NFL, NBA, MLB official or umpire in the case of Major League Baseball. So you take a while to get to that point. So it's usually not younger guys, but it's just crazy. You got a sport where it entails a ton of running, a ton of, being physically fit. And then you got all these older officials, which is crazy to me, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. He says, 3rd and forever, will please continue to cover Sutton and not settle in the zone. That play pissed me off to no end. I'm not going to hold you. This is probably my least favorite defensive play call of the night. 3rd and forever. You rush 3, you drop 8, and you give up this massive completion. Like, it's stupid. I hated it. I hated it with a passion. Yoshi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Yoshi writes, Lou, I'm not even mad because I'm full tank FC. But regardless, no one should be. We showed heart. McGee balling. Thought so too. Burks fire. Thought so too. Terry back. Thought he was awesome. No reason to be mad, but Quinn as a play caller, I'm not impressed. And that's fair. You don't have to necessarily love Dan Quinn as a play caller. There's a difference between him and Joe Witt Jr., though. You have to admit that. You don't have to love him as a play caller, but you have to admit that there's been a difference. We were getting cooked by any and everybody. And with DQ taking over the play calling, you've seen an improvement in this team. You got to at least say that. Icon Visor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, I said, what the F to that tight end screen to Ertz, his slow ass. Also, falling short of the sticks needs to stop with him. Yeah, he did that shit again on that 3rd down. He catches it, can't get past the sticks. He never seems to have a good feel for where the sticks are and stretching the ball out or any of that. He always ends up short. They ran it with C-Rod and got the first down anyway, but still, like, why we even had to be in that position was like, get the first down, bro. But that's Ertz for you. If we haven't learned anything else about Ertz over these last 2 years, then it's definitely he ain't getting the first down in that situation. He's gonna fall just short of the sticks. And for as many big catches as he make, he gonna drop some shit that's gonna make you question, why the fuck is he here? because he made some catches tonight. He made the fourth down in the fourth quarter on the final drive. Without that catch, the game is over, bro. Like, we can sit here and shit on Ertz. He made a bunch of catches tonight that were impactful, but he let Singleton punch that bitch out. That was the best throw of the night for Mariota. 3rd and 21. Are you kidding me? Up the seam. That's a dime. It's a dot. You got to credit Singleton. We don't have a single guy on our team that would punch that ball, that would even be in the position to punch that ball out and make that play at linebacker. Are you kidding me? That shit was beautiful. And Singleton saw him coming out with that ball and purposefully put his hand in between Zach Ertz's hands and punched that ball out. You got to give credit where credit is due. That tight end screen almost made me vomit. GT7. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Ertz definitely got to hit a certain number of receptions. That's my answer. Why we didn't choose to receive since Denver defense was gassed when we tied, because that don't matter. You have, to me, with the way the overtime rules are set up, you have to defer because you want to know. It's just like college football, right? When you win the toss, you defer so you know exactly what you need. What if the defense would have gotten a stop, a 3 and out? Now all we would have needed was a field goal to win. That's, you want to know. They scored a touchdown, so guess what we knew? We had 4 downs all the way down the field to try to score. Either we was going to get it done or we weren't. And we knew that, okay, we scored a touchdown. Now we can go for 2 in the win. You can't do that when you score first. You can't go for 2 because if you don't get it, now all the other team got to do is score a touchdown, kick the extra point, and they win. So there's a lot of options that are afforded to you if you get the ball second. Now that the rules suggest that both teams are going to touch it. You rather, it sucks giving up a touchdown, but you rather do it the way the Commanders did it. Just give it up. Have that shit be quick. Now you can have a methodical drive. Take your time. You don't want to get the ball back with 3 minutes left. And you got to go to the length of the field. You rather do what we had to do. We got that ball back with about 7 minutes left in overtime. Plenty of time. Do whatever you want to do. Take your time. Move it down the field. And we scored the touchdown. And we went for 2. And we just didn't get it. It ain't like we didn't score in overtime. Like the whole, they were gassed. We still scored. We still scored. Jay Garcia, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB mob. You know what to do. Show Jay Garcia some love. Welcome him with open arms. Welcome to the squad. Jay Garcia, glad to have you on board. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Lou, what's up, video channel? Love Burks' catch. Mikey's hit. That hit was really, really. It reminded me of Mikey from last year. That was a dog. Like, don't tell me, and it also reminded me of how I feel about Mikey being down around the line of scrimmage and why I feel like he's being improperly utilized. Don't tell me Mikey can't be down around the line of scrimmage and be a physical part of this defense, because he can. Yankov's catch from FB, like seeing Yankov getting involved in the offense made me smile. Still makes me question why Ben Sinnott can't get involved, but I digress. Need all of this for the next 5 weeks in mini, and DQ might have to call plays in 2026. We'll see. As you just heard, Super Chat just said they good on DQ calling plays. He still ain't all that. So jury's still out. You still got 5 more weeks of us seeing what DQ, looks like, and if this is a mirage or if this is legit. But so far, so good for DQ. So far, so good. So far, so good. Will Diggs, been a member for 38 months. Salute to my guy Will, who writes, so do you think the rookie can be better than Momo? I think he can be better than Momo. I don't think he's going to be like drastically better than him yet, but he's getting better, man. Like, he's getting better. But I do think there are deficiencies in his game that I don't think are going to change over time. I think that's just who he is. But there's a lot more good than bad. with the young fella, and he's still extremely young. So there's a lot of growth that can take place, but I do think he's going to be better than Momo. But I think he's still going to be on par with what Momo was, and I should say is, because he's still in the league. But I do think he can be better than him. This offensive line has a chance to be really, really stout. Really stout. I like what I'm seeing from them. I really do. BDB. Love it. I love it. I love the name. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. I watched some Martin over the weekend too, so the BDB hit different because of where I'm at mentally right now. I love it. What a fun game it was, though. Like we talked about that earlier. My guy, it was Ethan Dice. He had said the same thing, and I came on. I think the first thing I said was, that was fun. Team played hard with a chance to win. I'll take it. Amazes me that we can't generate any pass rush. I don't know why that amazes you. I don't know why. This ain't like when we had Montez Sweat, Chase Young, and Jonathan Allen and Deron playing 4 former first-round picks on the defensive line, and we couldn't get to the quarterback. That should amaze you. We got Jacob Martin, some semblance of Frankie Louvu, Von Miller, Preston Smith on the edge, and then take your pick of Javon Kinlaw, Deron Payne, Johnny Newton, or Sheldon Day inside. Like, I don't know why you're surprised. Why that amazes that you that we can't get pressure on the quarterback. But yeah, no, the team played extremely hard and with a chance to win. That's all you can ask for, honestly. And I wish they would have won, but I mean, I ain't tripping to put yourself in a position to get a high draft pick. I ain't tripping about it. You know, I told you we're in a position right now where it's like the best of both worlds, because either you win or you lose and you position yourself for a pick. So it's whatever. Kevin the PR, if you know I'm rooting for wins, though, I already made it abundantly clear where I stand. Kevin the PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Kevin the PRF, writes, earlies are in. So this offseason is DQ scared to hand off the defense. I don't know if he's scared, but he might be reluctant. He might be reluctant. We'll see. All I know is I'd rather that be a topic of discussion versus DQ stinks too. We got to get somebody in here. I like the fact that there's even a discussion. That means DQ's doing at least a half decent job, enough to the point where people are questioning whether he'll be back doing it next year or not. To me, that's a good thing. All right, so let's read some of these. Joshua Ferris, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Oh, gotta keep that on. All right. Joshua Ferris writes, I think it's time to give DQ total control of the defense. Why didn't he take over play calling before? That's the question I asked earlier tonight. Like, I think it was fair to ask that after Miami. I heard people asking that after Miami. I said, well, we'll get a better sense moving forward, even though Denver is, to me, a lot like Miami in the sense that it's not a super dynamic offense this season. Still, if he plays well against a quality opponent, which the Dolphins were not, this one was. This is the same team that blew Dallas out and put up 800 points on them. Like, it could have happened. This is the same, and we all say that the Giants' defense is better than ours. Well, they put up 900 points in the fourth quarter and scored, 32 or 33 points on the Giants. And so with the bulk of them coming in the fourth quarter, that didn't happen to us. So I do think some credit needs to be given to DQ. And I think that's a very fair question. I asked the same question tonight. Why didn't he do it earlier? If he would have done it earlier, maybe the fortunes of this team might have been a little bit different. Who knows? Can't say for sure, but you definitely can't say that for definitively that it wouldn't have been different. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, I'm proud of my team. They fought tonight. And I think you can take some solace in knowing that they fought. And they didn't embarrass. You know, I'm big on not embarrassing. You know, don't embarrass me on the national stage. Don't do that. They didn't do it tonight. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, looks like DQ is our new DC. Cliff was great too. Cliff had his moments tonight. Cliff was in his bag. I thought they had a really good game plan. I do want to acknowledge that. I thought they had a really good game plan. We'll see if DQ ends up being a DC or not. A lot of people advocating for it right now. HP Living, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, we need a QB2 bad. My 15-year-old son could have made that throw on a 2-point conversion. Oh, so that's why you said you thought Marcus cost us the game. That's a tough play, bro. Because if you lofted, if you put too much air on that, those defenders were running over there. It's not like he was wide open to the point where you could just throw it up there and he could catch this punt and it'll be a touchdown. They were running over there to try to get there and break it up. He needed to get that ball there as fast as he could. You got to just give Benito some credit. It's okay to do that. We also need CB2, RB1, 2 linebackers, 2 DNs, wide receiver 2, TE1, 2 safeties, and a head coach. So basically, we need everything. That's what you're saying. We need everything. Alfred Morris, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Terry was worth the money. Redemption arc next year. I've always been of the mindset that Terry was worth the money and he was going to prove it. Sucks that he got hurt this season, but you see the value in a Terry McLaurin. HP Living, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, 3rd and short, what advantage does shotgun give you? I agree with you. I hate shotgun 3rd and short, but what it does give you is the option to go read option, zone read, which we did tonight and did pick up a first down. So it does give you the advantage of seeing the defense, not turning your back to the defense, getting the ball out of your hands quickly, being far away from the defense, further away than you would be under center, so that if they're blitzing or, trying to be aggressive, you can take advantage of that. There's ways that being in the gun affords you an advantage, but short yardage to me is like mano a mano. And you saw that when we got in short yardage down by the goal line, we tried to get under center on that first down handoff to Chris Rodriguez. What happened? Nothing. Lost a yard or two. So I think you got to be strategic on how you do it. Not just get under center just for the sake of getting under center, but you got to be strategic in how you do it. AJ Meehan, thank you for being a member of the MOBB and a member for 40 months. Salute. Who writes, this game made me realize our biggest need is pass rush. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Bo had at least 5 seconds every drop back it seemed. It did feel like he was back there forever. F the tank for draft picks crowd. I want to win. We don't need a QB, so don't need to beg for a tank. And that's been my sentiment, is that when you're in that dire of straits, yeah, you need to lose. You want a tank. You need to get the guy, the most important guy. We got that already taken care of. So as far as I'm concerned, tanking isn't necessary. I want to win too. I'm with you. I want to win as well. Sucks that we didn't get it done tonight. Shout out to Kevin the PRF for the early soups. Really, truly do appreciate you. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, is it safe to say Joe Witt most likely scapegoat? Yeah. Like, I don't think people are gonna keep shitting on him at this point. We already killed him. He's no longer a main character. So I think that energy ain't gonna be there. But you'll get some occasional people bringing him up, and because of the improvement defensively. Like, the defense was good tonight. It wasn't great, far from it, but it was good tonight. They got stops. They forced a turnover. They gave us a shot. Again, all they had to do was give up any points when it was 20-14. Any points and we lose this game. A field goal. One field goal, we lose this game. They gave up nothing. Nothing. They gave up a drive on the Denver Broncos' first possession of the second half. After we went down and scored a touchdown to take the lead, the Broncos responded with a touchdown on their opening drive of the second half. That was it. They didn't score another point until overtime. You got to credit the defense for that. They had the ball ample times in the second half and could have done damage and put this game, and they couldn't do it. You got to credit the defense. Yeah. So for those of you who feel like Joe Witt was a problem, he's the scapegoat. And right now, it's hard to refute that. Hard to refute that. Jay Garcia, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jay Garcia writes, preach, getting some guys in the whip for 2026. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Getting guys in the whip for 2026. It's a lot of dudes that could potentially be in the whip. I love it. Like, that's what the rest of the season is about. Figuring out who are pieces of the puzzle that fit in this thing that we trying to put together. Joe Rockhead, been a member for 48 months. Celebrate! Writes, biggest positive, no known key injuries. Let's hold our breath. I told you Debo had a nasty little situation there where he was grimacing. Adrenaline will get you through some shit. Then you wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh my God, my back feels terrible. Let's hope that he's all right. Outside of that, I feel like we might have got out of this thing relatively unscathed. So that's another positive too. If you look at short term. DMV Bay, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, impressed with Burks. Outside of his insane catch, he was getting open more often than I expected. He got vertical a couple of times too. Like, he didn't track the ball well on one of those deep balls. And then there was another one where he said, I already made one-handed, bitch. I'm going to try to do another one. I'm like, two hands, bro. Two hands. Let's not get too comfortable trying to jump up there with one hand. But I like what I've seen from Burks. I want to see more. Absolutely. I want to see more. Mr. HTTR, been a member for 35 months. Perfect game. We look competitive and lost. LOL. That's the crowd that wants to lose out for better draft positioning. You can't have it any better than this. This is the blueprint. This right here. Can't do it any better than this. Rod Jones, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rod Jones writes, Marcus should have jumped past that. You know what? Of all the times he did this shit tonight, that would have been the perfect time to do it, huh? I didn't even think about that, but you're not wrong, Rod. That's the time when he should have did the damn jump pass. He was doing the shit. He was doing it all night. He was. All night long. All night long. All night. Oh. All night long. All night. All night. And then when we needed him to do it the most, he ain't do the shit. Hey, isn't that like the microcosm of our season? Like, isn't that the perfect way for this shit to end? Right? Now he wants to stop shaking my damn head. Cliff needs to be on his best bullshit. Cliff definitely, I thought he did a great job tonight. I ain't gonna hold you. You know, I thought it was a good mixture of run and pass. He never truly got away from the run. I just hate that we don't have a dynamic back. Like, I don't know if I said this on Bleacher Report or if I said this with y'all tonight. So I'm gonna just say it again. It sucked in overtime to have Jeremy McNichols in the game, and that ain't no slight or disrespect to Jeremy McNichols. I love Jeremy McNichols. I love what he brings to the table. I love his toughness. I love his ability to block. There's a lot of intangibles that come with Jeremy McNichols. I love C-Rod's physicality. I think he did some really good things tonight. I got nothing but love for C-Rod, man. But Bill is the dynamic back. And if you're not going to put Bill in, then I feel like you're leaving some meat on the bone. And in overtime, to have Chris Rodriguez in, or in the fourth quarter, rather, Chris Rodriguez in, and in overtime, and in crucial situations to have J-Mac in, feels like you leaving some opportunities potentially out, on the field. But it is what it is. I thought Cliff was outstanding. I really did. We need a dynamic back, though. If you don't think Bill is it, then they need a dynamic back. Because I thought there was some real opportunities from the running back position in this game. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Joe Witt Jr. Think I can still get that deal over at Rockefeller? So won't you raise your glass, won't you? Hey, make sure you got your umbrella. Don't want to get your brick. Don't want to get rained on. Make sure you got an umbrella, Joe Witt Jr. Yeah. Think I can still get that deal over at Rockefeller? You got to say it with the reverberation. Rockefeller. Good one, video channel. Good one. Colin Tucker Sports. Colin Talk Sports. Been a member for 13 months. Who writes, 17 only needs 140 yards per game for 1,000. Just kidding. Glad he's back. Shit, we could barely get him to 140 yards in a game, let alone averaging that. Boy, it would be nice to get him to 1,000, though. If he gets targeted the way he got targeted tonight, there's still hope. Because there was some big plays. Like, if you don't take that one away from him, that deep ball that was negated due to Josh Conley Jr., like, he's well over 100 yards. I don't know if he made it over 100 or not tonight. He's well over 100 with that one. So, sounds like you're just kidding, but you're not. You, like, in the back of your mind, you hoping Terry can get hot down the stretch and get to 1,000, keep the streak alive. It ain't happening. He ain't Justin Jefferson. He ain't Puka Nacua, or one of these receivers that gets targeted enough to be able to have that happen. But I'm so glad he's back too. I agree. Hopefully he stays back for the remainder of the season, and we get to see him team up with Jaden Daniels and Deebo Samuel. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Video channel writes, Tavita's last game. I saw him on the sidelines. I was like, damn, Tavita. Congratulations on one hand, but on the other hand, like, you were good for the QB room, bruh. Thoughts on him and the next? You already know what that means. David Blau, you up. Blau, Blau. David Blau is up. Buddha bye, Buddha bye, Buddha bye, Buddha bye, Buddha bye, Buddha bye, boop. He's up next. And they really like David Blau, so bing, bang, Blau. Let's see what he got. Tavita, I thought he was really good for the quarterback room. I thought his diverse background, being a former quarterback, playing at Stanford under David Shaw, and then having that perspective, then the backdrop of Cliff, who has Tavita was like, bro, we came from two totally different worlds. If you know David Shaw, if you know Stanford football, 3 tight ends, running the football, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's what they were about. That's what Tavita knew. And then Cliff is like, nah, spread these MFers out. We gonna throw this bitch 50 times and let's have some fun. And so he had to kind of adapt and adjust. So I thought his perspective was really good. And then I think he and Marcus had similar backgrounds. So I thought there was a little bit of a dynamic there that kind of made it easy for Marcus too. So I thought Tavita had a really positive impact in the building, and I'm happy for him. I hope he goes there and has some success at Stanford. I really, truly do. But David Blau, I think he's next. So I think he's up next. We'll see what he does with this opportunity. They really like David Blau, though. G Moore, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. G Moore writes, 1-inch Ertz. How does he do it? We need a young tight end bad. I mean, you see Evan Ingram. I know he ain't no spring chicken, but he still can run. Isn't that nice? A tight end catches a underneath pass and hauls ass. We can only dream. Dream. Dream, dream, dream. The NFL is horrible. For you to flag something that should have been a penalty is crazy. And I think Mike Tirico summed it up best. Like, how far do you open Pandora's box? Because the NBA allows you to look at a replay and then assess like every portion of it, but that's a lot in the NFL, because you could open you look at a play for a fumble and you be like, well, that's holding right there. Like, I mean, you can do that on every play though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the danger in that. And you don't want to do that. Like when they had that year after the Rams had the pass interference on the Saints that didn't get called, and they opened up pass interference for a replay, like they realized quickly this is all bad. Like this shit can't be a thing. And they had to get rid of it after 1 year. And so I get it. It just sucks. Because in the NBA, they can have a makeup call. The next ball to go out of bounds, yeah, that shit was really off of y'all, but we're going to give it back to y'all because we just screwed y'all. In the NFL, there really ain't no way to do that. They could throw a flag, but they generally don't do that. There's makeup calls in the NBA. You see it all the time. There's no makeup calls in the NFL. So that sucked because that could have ended us. We were in 3rd and 25 because of that penalty. I think it was 2nd and 25 when it was all said and done. Then we didn't have a completion on 2nd and 25. It was 3rd and 25. That could have ended us because you decided that, yeah, they tripped you, but we can't call it because it happened and we didn't catch it in real time. Can't go back and retroactively penalize them for that. That's bullshit. You can retroactively punish us for them tripping us, but you can't retroactively punish them for doing the act that got us in that position. That's crazy. I agree. Sonny Rawson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Sonny Rawson writes, I want to beat Jonathan Allen's stinking ass next week. I second that. And I don't have any ill will towards Jonathan Allen either, just so we're clear. He's not a stinking ass for me. I would like to beat him. This game gave me hope we can get it done next week. I mean, shit, just watching the Vikings game gave me hope. Even if we didn't play well tonight, they stink just like we do. So we'll see. Rod Jones, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rod writes, let's not act like we don't have our full team due to injuries. No excuses, but damn, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Draft and free agents. No, the injuries are a real thing. That's not an excuse. It's a reason. It's a real thing. And you saw bits and pieces of that tonight. Will Harris came back. I think he made a difference, right? Had a nice pass breakup in the end zone. Terry came back. He made a massive difference. I don't think that's, again, a coincidence, but I digress. It's been that type of year. It's been that type of year. CET Luck. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, we should draft that D guy out of Memphis in the first round. Shout out to Luck, man. It's always good to see you on the stream, man. It's always good to see you back on the scene. And shout out to Luck, man. Big Money Sonny. Thank you for being a member for 50 months. Celebrate! Big Money Sonny writes, saying, what's good, Lou? What's good with you, Big Money Sonny, man? What's good with you, bro? Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, all that good stuff, man. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. It's been a rough year, but hey, top 5 dead or alive, that shit still exists, Big Money Sonny. You with it or what? Anyway, I digress. That's the last super chat. So that means it's time for me to glide to the side and let you guys get back to whatever it was you were doing before I very rudely interrupted. I appreciate y'all for kicking it with the kid. I look forward to chopping it up with you guys the entire week as we head into week number 14. The NFL is getting very interesting. It sucks that we're not a part of that, but we might have one of the most irrelevant games. We had a relevant game this week because we played a relevant team. Next week, we play an irrelevant team. So we aren't relevant at all. Our game will not be anywhere near anyone's, top of the radar. We're playing the Vikings. It sucks. Let's go get a win, man. That's what we can do next week. Go get a win. Snap this nasty losing streak. And we'll see what happens after that. But we got a shot next week against a very bad Vikings team. Look, they may beat us. We're not good. Bad teams do bad shit. And like somebody just brought up injuries. Antonio Hamilton Sr. being out there on Gunner. Like, I just want to see Jalen Lane do the thing that he was drafted to do, which is return punts. And because Antonio Hamilton Sr. can't get a block on the gunner for the Broncos, he gets tackled immediately as he catches the football and can't return the punt. Well, there was a ton of space on that punt, man. That was the one in the fourth quarter. Like, it sucks not having real gunners out there, guys that would have been. But I digress. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes 5. You know who it is. Top 5 dead or alive. It's 5. You know what it is. Just making sure we still here. We still here. We on the same page. That's it. CTE Luck, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes Luck and Sonny band for band to keep Lou up. Let's go. Hey, man. Shout out to y'all. It's been a long time, man. But much love to both of y'all, man. Love y'all to death. Y'all my guys. But with that said, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy. It's hard to say enjoy. That comes with a win, but I'm proud of the fellas. Again, I feel like I kind of like borderline feel like this is loser talk, but that's where we are. And success is a distraction from the process. That's what a wise man once told me. Success is a distraction from the process. And a win tonight would have distracted me away from what is important. And so I get it. I understand why we are where we are. So I have to keep the main thing the main thing. CTE Luck, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, right now, we deader than died, Lou, but I'm here, LOL. You are here. We are here. We appreciate you, Luck. Anyway, I digress. Cheers. to the Commanders not getting blown out on national television for the first time this year, for them showing some backbone, making this a fun game. Even do you know how bad it was, that Seattle game, when we saw Tirico and Collinsworth the last time, and how bad it was, and they were joking and having to fill the gap in the third quarter because the game was over in the first half? This was a stark contrast to that. They'll invite us back. I wasn't sure if they were going to invite us back to Sunday night next year. You can get 2 Monday nights and a Thursday night next year, right? I wasn't sure if we were getting a Sunday night. They're going to invite us back now. They're going to invite us back. So that felt good. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Take care. Oh, got another super chat. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes? 5, Lou. Yeah. Top 5 dead or alive. 5 is the answer to that. Salute. Absolutely. Got another super chat. CTE Luck, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes 5, Lou. 5 indeed. And we may see 5 next week. I still think it's the Giants game in week 15, but there's a realistic shot that we see them in week 14 versus the Vikings. Only time will tell. But I think, and somebody said this, I want to say it was, damn, I forget who it was that said the biggest positive was we got out of this thing pretty much healthy. That's important. I still worry about Debo and his back, but Terry, I think, made it out of this thing no worse for the wear. And he's the most important piece to all of this shit. Because, like I said, Debo was pretty much non-existent until the final drive of regulation and then the overtime drive. So you give us Zach Ertz and Terry, and we can do some damage with those two, along with Traylon Burks emerging. But you want Debo healthy too. You want to see what this shit looks like all together. So anyway, I digress. I think it was Joe Rockhead who said it. Who said positive was we got out of this thing healthy. And that's the key, right? So anyway, I digress. Y'all get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Commanders fall short 27-26. Broncos now 9 games straight winners. Commanders now 7 straight games as losers. They fought their asses off, and you can't be mad at that. Until next time, you guys have a good one. Take care. Sunday night football overtime. Peace.